Alright. This is what I call the Flatabria. Wind's kind of coming from that direction. Oh. It's already too windy and it's only blowing like 2 miles an hour. Okay, good start. It weighs 12 ounces. A little bit of trim, not much. A little over 12 ounces with these tires on it. I don't know if it needs a rudder or if it needs aileron. That looks good. This is all new design. There's not a lot of profile high wings out there. There is one Citabria Park Flyer, but it has a rubber band wing, and I'm not a rubber band fan when it comes to the wing, so I'd rather have it hard mounted. And so I came up with this. It's got basically upside down T's in the fuselage with some nylon bolts up, you know, that are kind of squeezed into the fuselage, and they go up through the wing, and there's nuts above the wing. And but you know, has some challenges. I do think I might mess around with the version 2 of it, just to wanted to experiment with a 2-piece wing. Not that the 1-piece wing is a problem strength wise. I think it's plenty strong, but it's just kind of a pain to build, honestly. It is really fragile before you cover it. So kind of wheeling in it, you know, kind of messing with it while you're building it is kind of annoying, because it's 46 inches, so it's not super short. It is based on, it was to use the same basic power plant as the Skeeter. It is 30 inches long, but being that it uses a Citabria wing profile, it's 46 inches on the wingspan instead of 30. It has struts. They're not necessarily needed to keep the wing together, especially after covering, but being it's a high wing profile and the wing just kind of sits on top of the fuselage with those bolts, they're needed to kind of keep it from moving around. So that's kind of why I wanted to experiment with a 2-piece wing with a little bit like with a dowel joiner or a carbon dowel joiner of some sort. Might do better keeping it together without needing the struts. Although I intended to have struts all along, because obviously I think it needs it for the looks. Using the same like landing gear configuration as the Skeeter. Oh, it does need a little down thrust. I usually, when I do something like this, I install the motor straight up, and then I'll just use washers to put some down thrust in it. And once I know how many washers I put on there, then I'll update the drawings and I'll make it so it has like 1 or 2 degrees down or whatever it needs. But it's flying level now. If I give it power, it starts going up. Not bad, but probably just needs one set of washers on the top bolts. Can really just fly as a rudder only plane, just like any Citabria. It is set up with 2 degrees dihedral like a Citabria. The airfoil is not flat bottom though. It is kind of a cross between a Decathlon and a Citabria. It's actually the Fun Cub airfoil, roughly, based on the manual. Kind of has a cross section of the airfoil. And I wanted to try it. I don't know how this thing will do inverted. Oh, it actually flies fairly well inverted. Or if it was true flat bottom, that sucker, it wouldn't have climbed. Actually flies pretty good. Roll rate's nothing crazy, but I made the horns just a hair long on the ailerons, so they don't have a ton of throw. So I need to get some longer arms for the servos if I want to get a little more aileron throw, which I think I could use. It's not terrible, but that's not amazing either. Also, the hinge gaps are not sealed, which sometimes can help. But a little different motor, just because it was kind of like one-stop shopping. I usually do Sunny Skies, and the one on the Skeeter is a 1850, I think. This is a T motor. I think I was on Altitude Hobbies where I got the servos and everything, and they had a T motor with 1900 kV, so it was close enough. Same prop, 9545. I do have some other ones coming to test, some slow fly props. It's pretty much scale as far as surfaces go. Elevator is scale size and rudder scale size. I didn't enlarge them in any way. I usually like to leave them scale size, and if I need a little more, I can always cut them off and make new ones and make them bigger, but overall it seems pretty good. Definitely, just like the Skeeter, snapping is not really a thing, it seems. I thought it might, but it's just they fly so light. To get it to stall, it kind of just pirouettes around itself. That's kind of funny, actually. But unlike the Skeeter, it does have yaw coupling, which is something I've just come accustomed to and enjoy rudder flying sometimes, where the Skeeter and symmetrical aerobatic planes pretty much just yaw flat. They don't throw any roll into it. There's no ailerons there. What's my battery looking like? It's getting close. But I haven't had full throttle yet with this thing, but just kind of putt. The whole point of it was just kind of putt around. Don't have to really fly at a field this big, but for first flights. I did pop it up off the ground and let it land again in my backyard yesterday, but it was blowing like 10-15 miles an hour, so a little bit too much for this thing. But see what it stalls like. Get it up. See if it stalls at all. No. CG might be a little bit far forward. I had the battery all the way forward just for the first flights, but I can meander it back a little bit. But yeah, I think I'm going to bring it in here and put in another pack. Alright, we'll do another one and see what happens. Alright, we got flight 2 of the Flatabria. Give this a shot. First flight was good. Not a lot of wind, just a little bit. Yeah, it doesn't take much to take off. No flaps on this thing. I wanted to go with the real true Citabria, keep it as lightweight as possible. Adding extra servos and hinges and actuate and push rods and all that stuff just kind of adds to the overall weight. But I figured it would be light enough, slow enough that it wouldn't need any kind of flaps. There's a little bit of headwind on it right now. Maybe like 2, 3, 4 miles an hour. Oh, I did want to actually change something in the radio quick. Let me do that. Boop. Hopefully it stays there. It's a little breezy right now. Let me... I want to get rid of the differential that I put in there just to see how it flies with no differential on the ailerons, because honestly I use the rudder so much it doesn't really need it. See if the roll rate increases. Grass is a little wet, looks like the tires are a little wet, probably added a little bit of weight. Ailerons are enlarged just a little bit. Nah, roll rate's still the same. But as I mentioned in the last video, the last flight is that they're not sealed. But I didn't expect it to, being as slow as it flies, I didn't expect it to be a roll rate monster. Plus, it has the longer Citabria wingspan. If it was a decathlon, it's actually the same overall size, if anybody remembers the E-Star decathlon, which I still have one, and the plans. And while I was putting this together, I intended to keep it 30 inches long, the same as the Skeeter, and use the same power. But I started like putting the plans into Lightburn and comparing them, just kind of looking at them, and I'm like, oh, it's the same exact scale as the E-Star. So it's the same length, but the E-Star Decathlon has got the Decathlon wing, so it's 42 or 43 inches compared to 46. So a little shorter span. But I wanted a little extra wing. I did. It's a Citabria span with the Decathlon cord, so it's a little bit, it's not as it's a little bit wider front to back than Citabria would be, just a little bit. But I think the wing area is 371 square inches on this, and I think that at 12 ounces it's somewhere around 3 on the wing cube loading, which is pretty much right where the Skeeter is. It's a little bit lighter on the wing, but a little breezy, but it's not dead calm today. But the other day I had the skeeter out, it was freaking dead. It was super nice. I say I didn't use a flat bottom wing like I mentioned in the last flight, but it's not quite as symmetrical, semi-symmetrical. It's not quite as rounded on the bottom as a decathlon. It's kind of right in the middle, so it has some decent inverted capabilities. Where if it was truly flat bottom, I have another video of my old Citabria I ended up selling, but which it had a true flat bottom, and as soon as it went inverted, you push forward on the stick, it did nothing. Kind of like what my Cadet does. Where this, you can actually climb out of it. So that's good. That's what I wanted. Just need to add some down thrust, as I mentioned in the last flight. As I say, I usually design planes straight up because you never know what they need, and then I'll adjust from there. If it needs a lot, which I don't think it does, I'll update the drawing and put the motor, when you install the motor, it slides in at a 1 or 2 degree down. But it flies nice. It's basically what I wanted, in the sense of just a kind of low and slow cruiser. It's not a 3D machine. Honestly, it flies a lot like the, which it should, it flies a lot like the E-Flight Champ. As far as how it rolls, how it behaves on the rudder. Which is basically the same wing, just with squared off wingtips instead of rounded wingtips. The wheels are, I have other wheels coming that should be lighter, but these are from the actual OMP decathlon. But I have some bicycle wheels coming, some really thin park flyer wheels. Dubro makes them, and I was wondering if it'd be worth trying to make some lightweight wheel pants for it. So we'll see how that. They're supposed to be here in the next few days, maybe Friday, tomorrow. Might need some right thrust too. My other ones needed some right thrust, but it's hard to measure with a profile. Obviously you can move it one way or the other, but it's easier to fine-tune with washers than it is. And there's no cowl or anything, so there should be plenty of room, plenty of space to put some thrust angle into it with some washers without interfering with anything. Getting good flight time because I'm just kind of, compared to how I fly the Skeeter. Yeah, adverse yaws. It's there, but I always I'm pretty much rudder flying it, so. I did find an issue with the camera, which hopefully these turn out better, but it was set to variable frame rate. So when you watch it back on like VLC or something, it was fine, but apparently when you upload it to YouTube, it doesn't really know what to do with it. So these two recordings are set up on steady 60, so hopefully the stuttering will be gone. But no, this thing's awesome. Can't wait to fly it more. I have more packs coming, I think Monday. I only got 2 right now. But I may try a version 2 though, with a 2-piece wing setup. Or may experiment with a fatty type profile. Not super thick, but a little bit of a thickness to the fuselage to maybe fit the battery inside, but then it wouldn't be a true profile, so I don't know. But it's a fun experiment. It's kind of a no-brainer that I would mess with some kind of Citabria, Champ, or Decathlon with one of these. But they complement each other. This is my low and flow, and the Skeeter is low and slow, and the Skeeter's like a little bit of a 3D machine, early 3D machine. Not the most exciting flights to watch, but it's also a little windy today, so I mean, not windy in the traditional sense, but for these guys. But it handles it pretty good, just gets buffeted around a little bit. Yeah, there's the low battery. I was wondering where the low battery was. I'm like 2 minutes over, 3 minutes over my flight time. So I'm going on 11 minutes? 8, 9, 10, 11, yeah. Oh, we'll bring it in here. Burp. Alright, there's that one. Hopefully these videos come out and I'll put them up.